Hello, this is Lady Duchess. And tonight I'm doing a video about that most, the six questions I'm most, six questions I'm always asked. Yeah, good grief. Okay, so again, I made some notes because I didn't want to miss out on anything. First of all, I am a witch. The word witch has many meanings. Wise one, wicked, wicker, bent, whatever. In ancient times, witches were like wise women and healers of the community. They used their knowledge of like herbs and stars and the forest. Stop it! And animals and their intuitions to help and assist. Prada! Lucy! These dogs. Witches were gifted ones. They were also very lonely. For being gifted has always been like a misunderstood or misunderstanding, so to speak. Um, it's kind of like one of the oldest religions of the great goddess was worshipped as the giver of life, you know? Like with great gift of being able to bear children, women were revered and honored for their strength and mysterious connection to the moon. So it was only much later in history that the masculine gained power and kind of like the patriarchal religions kind of overshadowed and eventually took over worship of the Great Mother. That's why he became the god in Christianity and not the goddess. It's sad that in the advert of the early and well-meaning Christians, that pagan holidays were eventually taken over and new religions made it to their own. Our God, God of forest, was taken and made into the devil. He was the spelling of it is Cernunnos, and he was the god of the forest. He was taken and made into the devil. Hence, witchcraft has been associated with Satanism, which has never been true since Satan is a Christian concept and not an entity that witches believe in at all. So, the first question I'm always asked: "Are you a witch? What that mean?" And do you worship the devil? I mean, are you going to hell? Okay. The next question um, is Wicca like a religion? So, yes, it is. We take vows and either we initiate our own or we get initiated into Wicca. It's like a lifelong commitment, but no, you can't. Like, to me, once you get into Wicca and you start following the path, it's hard to walk away from it. Very rarely people do, unless they're like coerced or something happens where they family and stuff make them kind of like stop or something like that. Very rarely people just say I'm not gonna be on follow a path or whatever. That's very rare. Few far in between. Do I worship any female deities? Am I a feminist? Hmm. No, we kind of worship, both the male and female aspect of the creator in whatever form they take. We believe in balance and duality and everything. Male or females can be witches. We don't really use the word warlock, and a lot of people think that warlock is the male version of a witch, and that's not true. We don't hold any bias, although there are some women only covens out there. Um, you know, I mean, I always felt like it was wrong in believing in the male God. It made no sense. Like much of my life, I spent um, wondering that. The next question would be, what is magic and um, is it widely practiced? Um, yes, we do work with magic. Magic is working with clear intent, using that energy to manifest that intent. You can use visualizations, writing down your intent, thinking of an intent, saying it out loud. There are many ways to attract what we want. With that being said, as with any religion or spiritual practice, there are people who call themselves witches who work with ill intent. We don't condone or encourage that at all. And often there are misguided souls that are new to their powers that come from being accountable but to no one but themselves. So they do whatever. Admittedly, it was hard for me to understand the concept of magic at first, because it's so kooky, I guess. But after I started doing it on my own, doing a few rituals, I realized that working with clear intent was, really important, to gain that clear intent is powerful and it yields like surprising results. You'd be surprised. Are there any rules? We live by the Wiccan Rede, which is the guideline for how we live. It states, "And ye harm none, do as thou wilt," which means do as you want, as long as you're not harming anybody. I do believe in the Wiccan Rede. However, I also believe, and a lot of times people get this kind of like misunderstood or misconstrued. They think that if somebody, okay, there's one rule, and it's like don't hurt anyone. We believe in the threefold law. Whatever you do to others is gonna come back to you three times. Pretty much the same thing as karma. However, ooh, how do I explain it? Okay, so it's like this. I believe in it 100% wholeheartedly. However, if somebody mess with you, you have every right to defend yourself. And sometimes you can use magic. I don't care. Because they started it. They shouldn't fuck with you. Now they didn't fuck with you. Now you can defend yourself. Some people, you don't want to fight. You can fight with your intent, your manifestation. And if they shit be all fucked up, that's on them because they did what they had. Okay, I digress. So that's my opinion and comment on that. Like, yes, we follow rules. Yeah. There's sort of kind of rules and everything. But you just don't harm anybody. That's the biggest, that's probably the only one that just like stand out like that. Is that you cannot hurt people. You cannot hurt people. You cannot hurt people and be a Wiccan. What about all the sexual stuff? Child. Okay, so what about all the sexual stuff? We just believe that sex is sacred. Like some of us do like ritual skyclad. Skyclad is like without clothes. As we believe in this way, we are most open and vulnerable to each other and with the god and goddesses. But this doesn't mean that we have like naked orgies afterwards. No, I don't want to hear that. Some covens do reenact like sacred rites of fertility, doing Beltane, Beltane. I know I just be pronouncing that stuff crazy. It's a festival that celebrates the union of the god and the goddess. This is usually done by a priest and a priestess. Witches don't. So we use the altar tools, sorts such as the wand or the dagger, in a bowl to symbolize sacred union. Sex magic is powerful stuff. I use it in my love spells. I'll use it in my come back to me spells. I do. I'm not totally against it, but it just depends on what you want to do. My next question is what is involved in a Wiccan ritual? Magic. That's by Troy Wilson. I can do magic. I can do a trick or two. Or does he say I can perform a trick or two? I don't know. And that's probably not even the way the song go. Let my husband tell it. I don't never sing this shit right. No, I'm not drinking alcohol. This is just tea. We get together. We work with intention at the new moon, with the growth and completion at the full moon. We welcome in the god and the goddess. We welcome in the four elements. Within the space, we work with our energy, visualization, and intention. And afterwards, we drink wine, and eat food, and discuss our lives and our hopes and dreams. A coven is like a tight brotherhood, sisterhood between people, and you have to be ready 100% to be vulnerable with each other. I love a ritual and have from the beginning. I'm someone who never really puts my needs out there, even in my relationship. To have the opportunity to truly understand what it is I want and what it is as a great blessing. Better yet, I like to share with others. Stop! Because I'm not giving you nothing to drink. It's too late. Um, I see myself working with Wicca for like a long time, even though I do dibble and dabble in voodoo and hoodoo. Dibble and dabble. Wicca has helped me to really develop myself, to know my needs and desires, and be brave enough to ask for them. It brought me the gift of sisterhood, reclaiming my femininity, curing the shame of my childhood, the shame of being born a woman, the shame of being born black, the shame, period. And it replaced it with a healthy self-love and respect for my sexuality. And it also has brought like great balance in my life. Um, Wicca is a wonderful gift, and I'm joyful to see it come full circle, in my life and claim its rightful place also in society. Those are just some questions that I get asked a lot. And yes, I do spells, and yes, I do spells on people. No, I don't do spells on my husband, even though I have done a couple of like rituals where I guess I hoodooed him, but that was many years after our marriage. It was not to make him marry me. He loved me before. He told me on our first date that we were going to get married. Crazy is what I thought. But anyway, those were some of the questions that which probably get asked a lot. You can find me on Facebook at Duchess Young, also my Facebook group Infinite Energy, and my website www.magicalladyduchess.com. And magical is spelled Magickal, Lady Duchess, all one word. Same thing for my email is magicalladyduchess@gmail.com, which is the Magickal, Lady Duchess. So that's all one word. Subscribe, make a comment, like it. If you have any questions for me, please leave them, and I promise, I will answer them. Thank you again. This is Lady Duchess. Blessed be y'all.